what you heard. It's what you hearing. It's what you hearing. Listen, it's what you hearing.
I'm hearing a couple things in that. I'm hearing beauty plays a role.
Of course.
I'm hearing also that whatever the subjective character of the experience that is elicited by the encounter is itself a measure of the value of the encounter, and is itself a measure of whatever the potential value is in continuing the relationship.
Right.
It's what you hearing. Listen, it's what you hearing. Listen.
You know, they don't get encouragement. And people need so little encouragement. It's just unbelievable.
Remember, embody, there is no agency. We want what's best for you.
Welcome, everybody, to the Chino Afterglow stream, brought to you by the ever-blessed Shadow Cabal of production executives, responsible for if it wasn't for them, none of this would have been happening for a long time. You can join them at the link at the top of the chat over there if you're on the YouTubes, like Emily and Hamar. Hi, everybody. Hi. Welcome. Today is a very special episode. I got curious, and what had happened was a little matter of what we call due dilettantery. And as a result, the afterglow of Chino must now be addressed. So we'll have savings throws before we get into that. But before I give you the savings throws, no, we'll do it now. No, run more branding now. Son of a... All right. Yeah, this one is quiet, but it's got to be hold on it. So that's why I like. Oh, and welcome. I hope you're feeling virtually not alone. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This one? No, way up here. You were supposed to shorten this before you ever played it again. Remember it. It's all gotta go. All this branding has to go.
God loves me because he sent me Grim Grizz. I know he loves me.
Well, then maybe he'll help me out, because I've just discovered that the TLC might in fact be the TLC. So you're going to need the TLZ. So you're going to need your savings throws against mind control today. You can choose between survival, social, wisdom, or heart as the basis for your savings throw. If it's over 10, you take half damage from the mind control that follows. If it's under 10, you take full damage from the mind control that follows. But regardless of what's revealed in this stream today, we still want what's best for you. So choose survival, social, wisdom, or heart. Survivalists. Oh, that's a 7. Like the number of your... Oh, wait. Turn the lights on. Like the number of your chakras. Socialist with a witch's coven. 13 today. Yeah. Oh, wisdom. Yeah. Appropriately, wisdom today gets a nat 1. No bonuses for you. Lovers. Oh wait, hard folks. That's a 9. A 9. And for the Indigo Kids, also a 7, right? No, that's a 2. They got a 2. Never mind. Ah, 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 ah. All right. Enough daddling. Let's get into it, shall we? First up on the hit parade, the lovely and talented Sevilla, who I had the pleasure of hugging at Chino, has released a new video. And the first thing I noticed about this new video is the fancy pants way in which she has her. Watch what her new logo, her new opening screen is, man. It's fabulous. It's apparently entitled Jonathan Peugeot Chino, Peugeotian and Persian Metaphysics. And she's allowed to coin things because she gets credit for this little corner. But before I move on, I want to note that the algorithm wants me to continue watching Pandora's Box, also from from Estuary Chino, the quest for a spiritual home.
Hi there. A couple of weeks ago, I was in Chino, California for the conference, I guess, of this little corner called Quest for a Spiritual Home. And that was with our 3 patron saints, Paul Vanderklay, Jonathan Peugeot, and John Vervaeke. And the 4th in this conference was John Van Donk, who was sort of the everyman representative in his own quest for a spiritual home. And of course, Catherine Wilson doing an amazing job of hosting again. So there are many great things about this conference that I'll talk about later. One great thing is I got to meet Karen Wong. And in fact, we shared a hotel room. But the thing I want to talk about in another video later is something that John Vervaeke named the stance. And this was a big aspect of our of the conversations, the estuaries, what we were trying to come up with, in the shadow of AI also. And so I want to do another video later about the stance, but there's going to be a certain degree of that in here already. And I'll be on Karen's channel and catching up with her at the end of this month. But for now, what I want to do in this video is talk about Jonathan Peugeot's amazing talk, which was titled The Importance of Disappointment. So first, let me summarize what Jonathan said. And
if you are hoping for any more of that, you can go study The Importance of Disappointment. I was spending most of that time finding for you the inspirational source of this image, which is also released like either today or yesterday, depending on where you live, I suppose. And that is, of course, audience questions for Jonathan Peugeot at this Quest for a Spiritual Home conference over on Pastor Paul Vanderklay's channel, in which you can find the coveted official launch release of this period here.
Grim?
As he's coming, though, maybe I can say, if you look at in Exodus how God sets up the hierarchy, you can see that that's what God does. you know, and that if you notice any organization that doesn't have subsidiarity in it, it's dangerous, right? As soon as there's one leader and everybody follows, it's dangerous. But if the leader says, "Oh, Peter, you are my
Sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy. Oh, hey, Dolly, good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard to this fascinating and exciting and a Chino Afterglow stream, where I must address what happened after I returned from Chino and did some due dilettante. Now that we've announced Sevilla's thing, I must remind everyone that long ago, a year ago, I think they don't. Let's see it. Well, let me just bring it up. Let's just bring it up straight away. No, not this. This is great though. Let's keep watching this for a minute. What? Yes, we're keeping watching it.
stone. I'm going to build my church on you." And then he gives authority to different disciples for different things that are important. Then you feel like, okay, so this person trusts others along the line. But if the leader doesn't trust anyone, yeah, you're in a dictatorship. Hey,
Hello.
finally meeting you in person.
Is this working? Okay. Hello.
And you got Alan Moore to
Gift. I
flash
have a
at
gift
me.
for you from your nemesis.
You got Prometheus. That's awesome.
It's his masterwork
It
about
is.
the apocalypse.
Thank you. Thanks.
If you'd like
oh,
to,
that's an amazing gift, man.
If you'd like to tear
Thank
it
you
apart
so much.
symbolically, that'd be great.
That's an amazing gift.
So
I have once in a while gone on Amazon to see if there's like a little collection I can get, then find a way that I could buy it, but then not have my kids have access to it. If I get it, where do I put it so my kids don't read it? Sorry.
So I don't know if you're familiar with like your friends putting you into sticky situations.
Okay.
But I had a really great question. All right, so you can see all of that over on Pastor Paul's channel. If you're curious about that gift he was just given, you can find the sample on my channel under Chappelle Joke and Alan Moore's Promethean Prophecy. And here's that part.
Need only revelation mean our world of ideas set alight by information fierce and bright. Interestingly enough, the bottom says Crowley, when not telling jokes, this aeon Harpocrates evokes world's end is ruled then by his rod. Harpocrates, the silent god.
In magic, because he was working rough environments where he was apt to be heckled. And Teller just found if he was quiet, they grew weary of heckling.
And it says, meet Harpo at the bottom in Scrabble letters out of Promethea, which is.
So that gift, chock full of symbolism for Jonathan Pajot, is now in his hands. And if he doesn't produce a takedown of it, then I don't know. Can you guys pressure him to a little bit? That'd be cool. Hey, Alex, good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome to the After Chino Afterglow thing there that we're doing now, this stream. It's probably time to remind you that there's a Buy Me a Coffee link up at the top of the thing where you can give me money. And also run some more branding. So,
Don't worry, Mom. I know all about cannibalism. I saw it on TV.
See? It's okay. We saw it on the television.
Hey there, I'm Chad the Alcoholic, and the creator of the Friday Morning Nameless channel. I'd like to welcome you to join us for the latest and greatest and most up-to-date information about all the things happening in this corner of the internet. I want to thank you for your time and your attention.
right, welcome back to the talky part of the stream. So about the time I released that video, I think I was trolling him pretty hard back then, and then about that time he released the first of two talks, I think. And you know, if it's not about that time, it was some other time I was trolling him, I'm sure. And as such, it's important for me to note to you that under my understanding of the way this kayfabe layer, fake knowledge compartment system works, if they tell you and you don't notice and go along with what they're doing anyway, they get more points. And because I have that belief, it's important. I mean, that's relevance to what I'm about to show you, not that the card for the show is the three of diamonds. However, what, is it too bright? No. All right. Anyway, so what I'm about to show you is this. There, if you go to the YouTube searchings and do one for Pajot Collective Intelligence Angels, you'll see that him and the good old Jean Vervecchi a year ago did their first talk to Collective Intelligence Angels. Now, I'm not much of an acronym guy myself, as a member of the Sacred Order of Foolish Transparency and the representative of the fraternal regiment embodying narcissistic sociopathy. But some people are, and those people might know that the acronym generated in Collective Intelligence Angels, in scientific terms, well, you know, it is what it is. Is it not? Is it not? Hey, Marty Stover, is there a Q&A part? Because if so, I'm unaware. I'm unaware. There's not a Q&A part per se. But if anybody who was at Anna Chino wants to come on and testify and witness to what they experienced, we might get a hot tub answer. We might get a hot tub answer. And meanwhile, so this Collective Intelligence Angels, like remember, Ambody, they get more points if they tell you, but that's from the past that just floated to the surface as what happened earlier as a result of just the most minor, as you will see, do dilettanterie. And I hope you guys know what that means. I know what that means. And don't forget the LARPgate Year 4 theme has been announced, and it's fall inversion. And LARPgates change year on Talk Like a Pirate Day. So stay tuned and be excited for that. Be excited for that as we go along. Now what happened was, like post Chino, it might be noteworthy, right? It could possibly be noteworthy to see what videos the attendees of the Chino conference release on their channels. And as such, the due dilettanterie began with just checking that out over on John Vervecchi's channel over there, right? And so it turns out he has this lady on again, this Chloe Valderi lady. It says that's her name right there. It says, and over there, you see where it says? You see? Does it show you the highlight when I do? No, I don't. Anyway, ethics, AI, and the future with that person. And now we could just click and start watching, right? That's what people normally do. But due dilettanterie is there's this type of person in the world. They exist as I don't know if it's a phenotype or a constellation of personality type, whatever, but they exist, right? And what those people do, they enjoy, for whatever reason, doing this thing called due diligence, and like investigating what they're associating with is associated with, so they don't get guilt by association with things they don't want to associate with. And while I don't do that as a general rule, in this case, I did just a little because I was curious. Who again is this lady? I mean, I personally know her as like, man, I'd really like to talk about racism with her, but only because, so that would make it, and then I can't ask. But it turns out she's been on Bill Maher and stuff. But the basic level of due dilettanterie, of course, is to pop on over to the good old Wikipedia page for anybody relevant and then see what it says over there. And that minorist bit of due dilettantery has resulted in this image of me on this thumbnail. Because you see, oh, I didn't know, but now I know, thanks to the due dilettantery. So let's go back through what I did to discover what I discovered, and you can ride along with me in this reenactment like they used to do on that show with the guy that lost his kid. Let's see. I went to Wikipedia and I put in the name over here and I clicked the search. Right, and then it brought up that Chloe Simone Valderi is an American writer and entrepreneur whose company Theory of Enchantment. Well, okay. So now, as an aside, if you followed from the last stream, there was this Room 237 tweeting thing with Justin from Chino, the documentarian, who I'm trying to get to come on with Kale to do the Defense Against the Dark Art stuff. Right, and so I had reviewed this documentary called Room 237, and in that documentary, it was reported that, like, before working on the Shining movie, Stanley Kubrick had read this book called The Theory of Enchantment, and now this lady, as I look at the Wikipedia page, has a company name that was kind of weird. But it teaches a social and emotional learning in schools, as well as diversity and inclusion in companies and what's that word there? What is it? And government agencies. It's yeah. That was weird. That was weird for me to see. Because as far as I know,
Remember, everybody,
There is no agency. We want
what's best.
but but Wikipedia says what Wikipedia says. But I kept reading. Oh, look at that good graduation there, the magna cum laude, and what's this part here? What? But written for the New also criticized CRT, asserting that it fails to truly capture human. That's what she said on the Bill Maher. But what was this part up here? She's a Zionist from a school of thought akin to. Why does he get credit for the school of thought? Was my first question. So I clicked on it, and I was like, "Who is this guy?" And then he's got the thing and then the thing and. Let's see, where was the part that? Oh, this part. And I went down and it said, what? What is the World Zionist wait a minute, guys. Have I been associating with Zionists? What's going on here? And then, so I that was a fascinating link. And when you click on that and then you make it translate for you, it turns out, guys, there is an agency. It's the Jewish Agency, and since its inception in 1929, so they have one, but it's just not for everybody. There is an agency, but it's not for everybody. And I might be an accidental Zionist, and if I am, I should probably know what that is. So what is this guy's school of thought, really, right? What is that? So let's find out. He apparently has something to say.
Judaism is not a religion. Now, I know we were all raised in a day and age and conditioned to consider Judaism as one of the world's great religions, which is a bit strange since Jews make up less than 0.01% of the world's population. But Judaism is actually not a religion at all. Hear me out. The word religion in almost every dictionary is defined as the belief system in a god, deity, book, or prophet, or commonly understood as the belief system that spreads across borders and across nations. Let's look at actual religions like Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, If an individual does not believe in Jesus or in the Christian Bible, then that person is not a Christian. If an individual does not believe in Muhammad or in the Quran, then they are not a Muslim. And if an individual does not believe in Buddha or in his teachings, then they are not Buddhist. The point is that if any individual rejects any religion's deity or considers themselves agnostic or atheist, then they, by the very definition of religion, are not a part of it. Yet in Judaism, even if a Jew rejects the notion of God and the Torah, they may be atheist or agnostic, but they are still Jewish. If we take a Christian, for example, from France, from China,
politics, science, and spirituality. The new term, by the way, so that you don't look silly, is not New Age, but integral spirituality. Or
sorry, that's me jumping ahead. It turns out I'm also afraid that I'm accidentally an integralist. I don't know, but there's me publicly confessing my Chino Afterglow. I didn't even know. I hope that all of this is useful to any of you. And if you found it useful, you could click that Buy Me a Coffee link, maybe.
And what that does is it self-organizes, and you get a structure emerging, right? But then at some point, the structure goes critical. The structure can't actually maintain its own growth. And what you see in the sand pile is it avalanches. And what happens is that's an increase in entropy. The mutual predictability between the sand particles drops. It goes, right? Now, if there's too much criticality, it breaks. But if there's not, what happens is the avalanche spreads the sand out, and now a bigger base starts to emerge, and it can go higher than it could before. So it cycles between, right? It's self-organizing, and then the criticality means it can transcend as it self-organizes. And what you can look at in the brain is you can look at the part that corresponds to the mound being formed. Neurons they will fire in synchrony together, and when they're firing in synchrony together, that tends to correspond when you get a gestalt in aha, right?
I believe that if everyone sees what just a few people become when they wholly embrace their gifts, others will awaken.